profession of the hunter. I have the strange axe.
Of course, this could tell us if the old hunter is dead, or if it's still active and out there.
Well, that's why I was asking you if this would be helpful. Like if we could cast, use your unusual reach in time and space, focusing on this, because I'm assuming that the axe doesn't belong to the hunter. The axe belongs to the monster.
Right. Are you busy tomorrow?
I'm never too busy to mete out justice.
Right. If you could possibly... Oh, shit. Try not to double book myself. If you want to meet me at my theater early tomorrow morning, we could do this. But then I'll have to leave for another appointment.
I'll be there right away.
Very well. I will see you in the morning. You have a good night, Claudia.
I'll set my alarm.
Yes.
I'll tell
Alarm
my
of
butler
justice.
to wake me up.
So I think following that up then, I think we're going to go ahead and zoom in on Edmund, Zechariah, and Wanda. So what's up with our noble trio here?
I don't know. Zach's looking to Edmund. He's like, "This was your harebrained scheme. What have you got in mind?"
After we got out of Claudia's house, how late is it? What would you say?
It's definitely becoming night. It's like 5 to 6 p.m. your time right now, so
Fair. I'm gonna ask Zach, does he have any extra clothes?
Aside from just typical outfits, no.
Good. Let's go to your closet.
It's like, I don't think I really have anything that's going to fit you. I definitely don't have anything that's going to fit Wanda, but if you want to take a look, I guess,
Yeah, I'll take a look to see if there's anything that can fit me. Because we're both slender boys. I'm hoping something will go.
alright.
so you guys are going clothes shopping.
More like really Zach's closet.
Yeah, so you end up in his dorm room, and Zechariah, your roommate is looking at your two guests a little bit.
like-
We're gonna go ahead and call him a. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the list. Boop doop. He is a weasel. He's a tiny little weasel with big, wide-rimmed glasses, and he kind of pushes them up his nose a little bit. Look at these. You didn't say you were bringing anyone back.
Sorry, sort of last minute. He's gonna gesture to Edmund. It's like he's doing a story about the university, and I agreed to answer some questions. We're just grabbing a couple of things, and we're gonna go conduct the interview elsewhere. Sorry to bug you.
Oh, wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. What about your new girlfriend over there?
Um, Zach's kind of like
Wanda is just immediately blushing.
Like,
No, he's
Zach's-
not. And she pushes you.
Zach is gonna be like, it's like she's just a friend. We're not together like that.
Nicely. Oh, well, I'm still doing some of my studying. If you need to do some of your homework later, I could try to help you out.
I'm doing pretty well right now. I'll ask you for help later if I need it. But I aced the biology quiz.
Oh, wow. I only got a 9 out of 10. I brought it up to Nicholas later and disagreed. I know I got that question correct.
I don't know. He seemed like he was distracted by something today.
That's no excuse for improper grading. I could bring this up to the administrator, you know.
And Zach's just sort of gonna shrug non-committally.
As
I'm
these,
glad at least one of us cares about our grades. And he'll go ahead and turn back to his work.
students are pressed for time as they go back and forth. I'm gonna try to do like either a stealth or whatever to try to slip behind the two of them to see if I can see any clothes that might fit me.
You don't have to like sneak around. You can like raid his closet, and of course he has like a few outfits. How much do you have?
I mean, as far as my inventory goes, the only thing I have other than standard clothes was my fancy outfit.
Right. Well, I mean, even if you have the outfit, you probably have like a few different fittings of it or colors or
Yeah.
something to go about the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say you guys are probably about the same.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing of yours will fit Wanda whatsoever. She is far larger than you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a hoodie and a shirt, some jeans, try to
You're
fit
the
in.
wrong
But
era
like
for a hoodie. There's trench coats.
oh, sorry. Yeah, nice trench coat. Different
Right,
color, of
so
course.
so you basically cover yourself up, and Wanda will try looking for a hat and just put it on.
Zach, I don't know. It's like I actually had the idea that Zach would possibly want to go purchase a rough outfit at some point if he's going to continue getting himself in danger, but that's something that can come later.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
Gotta get some money.
Yeah. It's like Edmund still has the $10.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but after that, I'm going to see if I can find something a little bit different to try to disguise myself as a normal cottage.
Okay, so you'll go ahead and make the attempt to disguise. I'm gonna hold off on that check until someone is trying to see who you are first.
Sure.
So we'll hold off on that. And Wanda is just going to shrug. So what's the plan exactly?
I don't know. It's like Zach is gonna kind of look at Edmund. This was your idea.
Well, let's see what happens. We know something's going to happen, so let's just.
It's like, are we just gonna stay? Are we just gonna mill about the frat house?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Don't tell me you're joining a frat.
No. It's like Edmund's interested in the frat house. And it's like, and seeing as I'm a student, I was thinking maybe I can get him in.
Yes, you heard about the fire and everything. Just wanted to see what happened, you know.
Oh yes, the fire. Couldn't happen to worse people.
Yeah, no, they are kind of assholes, but they're still students. And like Zach is kind of giving a look to Edmund and Wanda, like it's like we should go before he gets suspicious.
And Wanda will go ahead and wrap an arm around each of you then at that and go, all right, boys, I guess it's time for us to head out. And she'll just shuffle you two out of the room. And you can, of
Alright.
course, see your roommate's glasses like going straight up his nose at that. As he watches you go. So, who's leading?
I guess I'll lead since this is my little shindig. I'm gonna try to. I'm not sure. How big are the streets here, or is it kind of obvious?
It's like
Like,
a
can you hide?
two-lane street going around.
Yeah, so it won't be easy to hide a car for a stakeout, basically, correct?
That's right. This isn't exactly a parking area, and anyone who lives over on the housing section has a driveway. Because they're rich.
Gotcha. So no shady trees or anything I could try to hide or like hide a car with, right?
It's all basically manicured foliage, so there's not a whole lot to work with here.
How about bushes along the edges of the sidewalk?
There's more of that on the neighborhood side. So you wouldn't have as much direct view of the fraternity house, but you would see them if they went to the street and left that way.
And as we like pull up, is there a lot of people around or no? Is it kind of like semi-deserted, a little deserted?
It's evening. It's getting really empty.
I look over to Zach and kind of grin. Might help me with something real quick.
Depends on what it is.
Remember that thing that we found at the hideout?
Refresh my memory.
The camel we found with the car?
The camel? What?
The cameo, you know, the
Oh, the ghillie sheet?
yeah.
It's like, do we still have that? What have we
I
been
don't think
carrying?
you took it with you.
It's like I don't think we were carrying that around.
Well, remember we had it on the car, so
We had it on Claudia's car.
yeah. Well, I did take it. I don't think Claudia will want that, knowing her unique.
I mean, it's like, did Edmund take that? It's like I
I don't think you did.
All right. Well, I'm not sure where it actually went.
You can
to,
always
but-
do drive all the way back to Willow Springs.
It's like we're not gonna drive all the way back to Willow Springs just to get the ghillie sheet.
Well, no, I don't know where it actually we're going to. Never
Yeah.
mind then.
But
Alright, so-
ultimately, I guess you're just going to hang out on the street then, or what's the plan?
I guess we'll find some trees or brush or something like we did last, or I did last time to hide.
Okay, so you're basically going to hang out in someone else's yard then.
Yeah, try to be as stealthful as possible.
Okay then. So, I'm going to say this will be a check you can make together with one of you assisting the other. Who is going to be the lead for
Zek is pretty stealthy, so I think he should lead this.
Yeah, we're going to go with speed, evasion, and observation because you're going to attempt to tail anyone who leaves, aren't you?
Yes. So speed. For evasion, I have 2d6, 1d12 for stealth,
Oh, go right ahead.
and then observation. I have I have 2 more dice. So there's speed and evasion. Oof. I'm going to here. I'm going to claim favored use for stealth for evasion and d6s.
And I guess if you're going to end up using the car, go ahead and roll transport as well.
Okay.
You want me to roll that because I'm driving a car?
Yeah, probably.
Gotcha.
So there's stealth. Oof. Damn. I am just rolling like crap.
Well, you do give him the D8 at least. Or you have team player, don't you?
Edmund has team player.
Edmund has team player. Okay.
This is the main role here. And
All
Edmund
right. So Edmund, you get a D8 bonus.
okay. And then there's observation.
Want me to wait for the bear to roll, or do you want me to roll?
I could go ahead and roll her too. Let's see if she can actually help. But you can go ahead and roll now.
Okay.
Here is Wanda. She has a die in evasion. She's gonna roll speed evasion. All right, she will give you the D8 to assist.
And I was getting all my dice together. And I got 2 assists, correct?
Yep.
That's correct. So you have bonus 2d8. Looking at 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to give him a roll. Ha! So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 successes right now. And as you're hanging out in these bushes, probably on someone's property and probably ready to anger someone if they saw you, you of course see a set of these fraternity members are heading out for the evening, and it looks like they are taking 3 separate cars. You begin to follow them, and it becomes very clear that these 3 cars are going to go in 3 different directions.
Do I see which one does the guy that we had worse with?
If you're looking for the bull, you can identify he's in one of the lead cars, and it's going to go ahead and head off one direction. You can choose to follow him.
Yes.
Okay. You go ahead and follow him, and it doesn't seem like he's noticed you in his rearview mirror at all, and doesn't seem to be taking a lot of extra precautions. And it looks like he's heading out towards the lake. In fact, when he comes to a stop, he comes to a stop in front of one of the dock warehouses. He and his friends will all shuffle out of the car, pull out a key, open up the front wire gate, close it behind them, close an extra wooden gate behind them, and then venture onto the property.
Do I know exactly which docks these are, or
It has some sort of it has a company name on it, but it looks like it is worn out over time and has not been replaced. It doesn't seem like it seems a lot of activity. And in fact, from what you know is just more or less being a resident of the city, uh, this is not really a popular place for boats. At least not this particular dock.
so shady stuff, right? Or I'm assuming
Say that again?
more like the shady type of people come here, or
Yeah, it seems more like a run-down area of the docks rather than like some place that legitimate business occurs. Someone needs to renovate this area.
well, other to the two, like, do you wanna take a peek? Do you wanna make a call? Would you like?
It's like Zach is like, I can maybe get that gate open if you give me a minute.
Oh, do you mind thing?
I'm going to try.
I will like to say you're also a bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna go
Yeah,
with.
it's like I could fly over, but then it's also an issue of getting them inside as well.
Hmm.
Wait, can bats fly, or are they like gargoyles? Like, they have to glide.
No, it's like I can fly. It's like I flew down from that 14th story window without any problems.
I just wasn't sure if you could go up without you going like glide and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
nope.
interesting.
You flight is just you can fly. It's perfectly fine.
Well,
Yeah, do your
let's
head.
let's first see if I can get all of us inside.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to make a PK roll. And that is 3 successes. So I will do opener of ways on the gate.
All right. So you do opener of the ways, and we have 1, 2, 3. Yep, I
Mhm.
think that's enough, isn't it?
I believe it is 3 successes. Let me double check on that. Yeah, opener of ways 3. I can open simple locks and latches.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you hear the internal lock on the front chain gate click open, and you can also hear the sound uh, of the wooden plank holding the wooden gate back just sort of drop to the ground with a little bit of a clunk.
And Zach is gonna kind of smirk and be like, "We're in."
Impressive.
Wow, you got good heady games.
Alrighty. So Zach will stealthily push the gate open and probably roll just to make sure he's not being spotted here.
I'm sorry, say that again.
He's rolling for some evasion here.
No one is out here at the moment, but
Oh,
you
no.
try to keep a low profile.
Yeah, basically trying to keep a low profile here.
And it looks like there's a large truck entrance, and of course a smaller entrance to the side. And you can kind of see like the blinds on that are actually shaking a little.
Hmm. All right. Well, Zek is gonna kind of stay in his hiding place and observe for a little bit. I'm not sure what Wanda and Edmund want to do.
Oh, you know I'm coming.
He's gonna kind of try and motion to the two of them to keep a low profile.
Yep. I'll of course stealthily go into.
Okay. So you open the door, and it's still unlocked. And inside, of course, is a dirty, dark warehouse. And you can kind of hear the sounds of some people talking, sort of in the center of the warehouse.
I guess I will try and listen in on what they're saying.
Same.
It definitely sounds like, oh God, what is this? Where are we? What's happening?
Zek is kind of gonna shoot up his brows and look to Edmund.
I'm staying in place.
Yeah.
Yep, staying in my hidey hole, seeing what's going on.
So the voices we're hearing, it's not. Is it somebody? Is it the frat members or is it somebody else?
Uh, it doesn't sound like them.
All right. Zek is gonna kind of creep a little bit closer towards the source of the voices.
Okay. The entire area is kind of dark, and you're kind of creeping towards the center of the warehouse here.
Mhm.
And you turn your head, and you can see kind of like a large object in the center. Shelves have been moved out of the way, like almost explicitly for it.
Mhm.
And at about this time, as you're kind of hiding there, a set of different spotlights will turn on in the warehouse. There's lots of shadows all over the place, and only a few specific things are illuminated, among which is a cage in the center of the warehouse where there are 3 people who are huddled inside the cage and are startled by the light. And up above, you can see on the gantry, illuminated by another small light, is the bull. And he has a robe over him, and it has a symbol on its head. Uh, and he is looking down, and he says, "All right, it's time for our game to begin." And at this, you hear the sounds of clicking and shuffling behind you. And Edmund, since you were further back, you can see some sort of foul black thing come over the door that you had just entered through.
Oh boy.
Is it like a spirit or like an ooze or
It's like spider legs.
Oh dear.
like it came into the building, or is it just like creeping out?
It is covered the door in sort of a cross hash, and it's sort of secured it in place. It looks like it would not be able to be opened now.
Oh, okay. I'm okay with it.
You see this also happen over the bare light that was coming in through the windows before. And you hear the bull say, "We are the hunters, and you are the hunted. There is no escape." And I think that's a good cliffhanger.
Dun dun dun. Wow.
Yes, as the game begins.
I knew messing with the Zetas was a bad idea.
And with that, let's go ahead and shift over to mottos. Dante, what's your motto?
I always have a plan.
That you do. Claudia.
Justice tempered by mercy.
Excellent. James.
There's gotta be a logical explanation.
Makes you laugh every time. Edmund.
No matter how much you try to hide your dirty secret, I'll find it out, and I hope you have a good smile for the paper,
Well, you found the dirty secret today.
right? And I hope I have a smile after this.
And Zechariah.
I won't let the people I love get hurt. Never again.
All right. And with all that, everyone will go ahead and get 2 experience for the day, 1 for the debrief and 1 for the session. I think this was mostly sort of another planning session and a lot of information. I don't believe any goals got popped.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, once again, I did stop Osborne while nobody was looking.
Of course, how could we have forgotten so soon? It's as if the mind affecting thing is affecting us now.
I think this is going to end with either the Zetas triumphant or destroyed.
This is going to be very entertaining at the least. So what did you guys think? What have you liked? What have you not liked? This is a little bit of a slow one, but I'm glad we picked up into some action. Everyone's kind of like, really scared to go back in those caverns, and I kind of understand that.
I have a professional career I have to look after.
That
also,
is true.
apparently children.
As do I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as I mentioned before, I like approaching the game like it's a realistic world with realistic stakes. Like, I want to stuff. It's like, oh wow, apparently, the beast might solve itself, but I'm not convinced of that. But I also just don't want to like blunder into a subterranean passage where we already met tiny bulletproof monsters, and apparently there's something that even the Zetas are scared of in there. So I don't even know what. But on the other hand, it's like I could do nothing, but that wouldn't be the heroic thing to do. So
Right.
I like that we have some breathing room to know known unknowns is my favorite way of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
You know
I
what you're
think-
missing now.
I think I know what Jane. I think I know Jane's character. It's that he doesn't believe in the supernatural or the magical stuff. Technology and undiscovered species, he's a bit more open to.
I mean,
You
Like
might
the
even find the truth of the whole matter too.
I've also
Yeah,
invited
the
you.
proprietors, they're just probably animals he's never heard of, or
You even did
That's-
extensive research on them.
exactly. That's the stuff he's like evidence. Like
Mhm.
there's magic is just like he's like, huh? Did you say something when the magic trick is not?
I have invited you to bear witness to the Zachariah thing, so.
So we're gonna have some fun seeing that next time.
If Zachariah lives through this encounter.
Yeah, I mean, although if not, then I've invited James to, hey, come back to the theater for no reason. At the same time, I also told Zachariah to really think about this, because really, you might not want to know.
Mm-hmm.
This could really just be a mind-breaking experience for you. So, literally just seeing my own father broke me. So, didn't even have to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens if
Alright.
what he has to say isn't something you want to hear?
Yes, what if it turns out he was the cultist organizing all this all along?
Or
No.
what happens if you killed your brother? Or what happens if there's some sort of weird mind erasing magic stuff going on right now and you are your brother? I don't know. There's so many angles at this. There's so many angles at this, and you might just not want to know. You might want to just remember your brother as he was and not as he is.
Or the other way around.
No. You might want to remember as he was, not as he is. Maybe he'll tell you something that diminishes your faith in your brother. Maybe he was a Zeta, right? Maybe he brought this upon himself. You just might learn something you don't want to know.
I mean, that's possible, but closure as well.
Right. Right, but
Yeah.
there might not even be closure. Maybe you'll learn something that leads you to something you'll never find out. And you'll
That's
torment yourself for the rest of your life trying to figure that one thing out.
That's true, but that is a rabbit hole I will jump down possibly in the next session.
Yeah. That's why I offered it, but it's
Wonderful.
like, I won't do this now. I want you to think about it.
I don't know. It's like Zach is pretty determined.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I'm 100%
Yeah.
there. If I was you, I'd be like, do it for me now.
Yeah, it's like Zach.
You always
is,
face the truth, but you'll never be ready for it.
But if
Yeah,
this
Zach-
was,
Zach, like he's been through a lot. He doesn't scare easy.
Right, but I mean, if this was like any movie or novel or something like that,
Yeah.
and the wizened character would look at you and tell you,
Yeah.
think about it.
Give it some thought.
Yeah, because there's always more to this than you think about in
It's
the
like
moment.
it's like you know what's gonna happen. It's like how can it not happen? It's too good to pass up.
Yeah, it's the monkey's paw. You've got to know that there's some evil in this, but at the same time,
Yeah.
you have to weigh it against everything you want.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to look at Edmund and be like, "What the fuck have you gotten me into again?" It's like, God damn it.
Well, we found the hunters. We did what we set out to do.
It's like it's a bad idea. And we don't have Claudia around this time to kick ass.
I'm surprised she didn't come with us.
I think maybe she was just seeing things as a little bit too dangerous or too conspicuous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd love to be involved in all this shit, but at the same time, I made these plans a month ago. So,
Mm-hmm.
and
Fair.
I
It's a
am.
commitment you can't avoid.
Well, yeah, I'm famous. This is what I'm famous for. I can't go back on this. I've got fans. Like, I honestly did not expect to ever see the Riddles ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
I mean, I ruined that connection. I leaned too heavily on it, thinking that Timothy was too important to me, and I thought I ruined it all. And here goes Timothy. I'm like a guardian now, so I also can't risk myself because Timothy is relying on me apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I got like a
You're
You're
little
gonna
poster
learn
up
so
now.
much magic and you'll live forever.
Yeah, I got like
Zechariah
a poster
has,
up in the theater now. It says, "Do it for her."
it's like Zechariah has a little bit less to lose at this point. I mean, like, obviously he'd worry about his parents if something happened to him, but
Yeah, I mean, I literally had
Yeah.
nobody except for Zamek that I was looking after, and then Zamek ran off.
it's like,
I bet you just have the
yay.
truck like drive itself back up to the theater one day. Nobody's in it.
Well, I mean, it's a stolen truck. I have no connection to it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Despite Zamek's defense of every truck he steals, he brings back so we can use, I do not care for these trucks.
Zombie will come back and he has like 3 trucks and he just has a bar between all of them so he can drive them all at once.
I do not like having stolen goods on my property.
It's like Zamek sounds like an interesting character. I hope we get to meet him soon.
I can only hope that the internet starts working for him soon.
I mean,
Poor guy.
he's basically you, but with rituals instead of PK.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he
Oh,
is...
like basically very not afraid to use his power, basically.
Right, but he's a spiritualist in rituals, so he doesn't have a lot of powers he can just throw around. He's more like communicating with... He's a shaman, basically. He's got a lot of shamanistic stuff, not a lot of stuff you can throw around willy-nilly.
Mm-hmm. Well, Zek, I basically have leaned very heavily into a PK specialization with him.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm right there with
Yeah.
you. I find it distasteful to throw around willy-nilly.
I mean, Zek doesn't try to throw it around willy-nilly, but if he needs it to defend himself, he's not going to not use it.
Right, but you constantly throwing yourself into positions where you're going to have to defend yourself. I
Mhm.
mean, I really did not like the fact that we did a ritual because I do not like acknowledging that magic is real. So having a bunch of people say, "Well, let's perform a séance and do actual magic for real with people watching us," and it's like, oh god. But I mean, at that point, I was already broken from having done the meet my father.
We didn't have to
I
do
don't
the
know.
seance in public.
Well, we
Zach-
didn't do it in
Zach's-
public. We did it in theater. I mean, in public, as in 5 people were there.
Mhm.
I mean, and also I'm openly claiming, yeah, I need to have these blessed so I can punch ghosts. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, you know.
Yeah, the fact
that's
you
not
went
gonna
straight
make
to
any
him
sense.
for the request.
Again, I do not like to acknowledge in character that magic is real, even though I'm constantly doing it. But at the same time, it's like a public acknowledgement, like, hey, let's all hold hands and do this thing, so something is tangibly going to happen.
And Zach.
Yeah, see
Zach's
one thing
mind,
I often worry about with the games are often biased in favor of minimaxing. So that's why I mentioned like, if you do things in a certain way, you can get big benefits. And I mean, yeah, like really a lot of these bigger rituals you have to get a seance to do it. Otherwise, it's almost unreachable.
Well, I mean, like it's beyond the pale. Obviously, Dante is a believer because he does things and he knows things, but at the same time, he is also a firm believer in the barrier between the regular world and the mystical world. There should not be such a huge crossover where people are throwing fireballs in the middle of the day, that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. Zach, I don't know. Zach is sort of the mindset. It's like I've gone a little bit too far to just turn back and pretend everything is normal now.
Right. Whereas I offered the riddles a fair portion of all my proceeds because I mind controlled Martin Riddle once and felt bad for it for weeks on end and thought I was never going to see them again. Like I
But
said,
you don't feel bad about mind controlling Mr. Gray.
well, here's a weird gray area.
He doesn't feel bad about it. Mr. Gray seems fine.
Well, here's a weird gray area that Griffin and I encounter a lot when we're doing vampire role-playing game, is that I have a weird conception of what is bad mind control and what's good mind control. Because we were getting into conflicts all the time where, like, I'm making you a better person through my mind control, and you're like, no, you're invading my privacy. Well, it's like, yeah, but you were a horrible person. I have made Mr. Gray
my character was very much just like, I'm not going to be controlled by you kind of things, but yeah.
Yeah, but I, like, the things I would do to you, I would make you a better person for it. I mean, unarguably, but I would also remove your free will, which is, again, invasion, and it's evil in itself. I invaded Martin Riddle's freedom of will by forcing him to sit aside while I had a conversation with his little brother, which was bad, and I felt bad for it. So I tried to make recompense and offered the fact that I would never see him again, but at the same time I would also pay for Timothy's continuing education out of whatever I make doing these shows, which is why I can't miss any of these shows. People are counting on me and the money that I make from them. At the same time, Mr. Gray was doing bad things, and now I've done something that affected his free will, but is letting him do good things now. So I don't feel bad about that. I mean, it's an evil act.
It is a
for
question:
good.
how much has Mr. Gray truly changed after this?
I mean, not much, but his perception of reality has changed just slightly enough to make him do good things for good reasons and not bad things for good reasons or bad things for bad reasons. Whereas my removing the free will from Martin Riddle was more of me acting selfishly for selfish reasons, which is why I felt bad for it. It's all perception of reality, I guess.
It's like, I won't lie, Zach's reasons for using his power are purely selfish. He wants to find out what happened to his brother.
Well,
I
I
want to
mean,
use it and look cool.
I posted paragraphs in this channel in the past about how Dante's feeling about however he acts selfishly, bad stuff happens, and why it's reinforced his viewpoint on the world that magic should not be used for selfish reasons, and even then it shouldn't be used at all if it can be avoided.
Yeah, it's also interesting looking at how all the characters I'm running it have like chosen their perspective on what they want to do with it. Or obviously most antagonists are just like, hey, I can increase my own power, obviously. But then you have your secondary cast, like Wanda Harvey, who's with you, who seems to just kind of like pop it off whenever to kind of just push the goal.
I mean, Timothy's about to start sending people to
Oh,
the
yeah,
cornfield. So
Oh yeah, and then Timothy, who just like kind of seems to use it all the time because he wants to know what people are thinking because he's a really sweet child and he wants to make people happy.
well, he's about to start sending people to the cornfield like a Twilight Zone episode, which is why I really want to start teaching him things so that he doesn't, he needs to be educated so he doesn't mess up. I don't want him to become Zachariah, as it were.
And then of course you have someone like Regina, who ever since she left, has not really been doing anything. It seems with hers.
Well, she's using precognition, obviously.
Oh yes, definitely. It doesn't seem to be like towards the same ends as other people use their powers. She's using it to make you
then-
more comfortable.
I mean, the
Then
problem
I
with
just-
ESP is that you could just probably sit in your house all day, just watching the future and the past all the time.
Exactly. What does the old woman do all day?
And then we have my alternate character that I rolled just in case, who is going to be a vitalist, but she's also a pacifist and absolutely refuses to use her power to hurt other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of different perspectives going on for like what to do with the stuff you have.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course we have the complicating agents too of terrible, terrible things in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we'll get to see more of those next time too.
It's like, bring on the darkness, I'll throw a desk at it.
I love it when I make maps and I just put things on there where I'm just like, yeah, there's like a mini bar here, there's a crate here, and then someone goes, I'm gonna throw it.
It's like, yeah, so he's like, I'm not only gonna throw it, I'm gonna throw it with my mind.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any final comments then?
Nothing aside from my general feedback that I'm having fun and look forward to this every week.
I look
Hooray!
forward to the war with the Zetas.
So do we
Even
get 2
though, even
points?
though you're not going to be directly involved.
Yeah,
Yes, you
Yes,
do.
we
We
get
change.
You know,
Yep.
I've never actually crossed paths with the Zeta plot.
Good point.
Other than, the tunnel with the one
Mhm.
guy. But
Mhm.
even then, I didn't talk to him or do anything. Other than I hypnotized him and then walked
You
away.
wiped his mind
Yeah.
to make him forget
Yeah.
all of us.
Other than that, I had not been around to hear you guys talk about your encountering of them, or... Really, I think I hang out by myself quite often if I'm not with Claudia.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Gotta draw you in.
Well, my
as
problem,
usual.
my problem is every time you leave me alone, I come up with something like, well, I'm not involved. I'm gonna go back into the middle of the woods and dig up a house. Or,
yeah.
I just got this ritual about a circle for spirit protection. Wow, that thing's had to think about my dad. I'm having a real dad moment here. When the time comes back around for me to do something, I'm gonna do something with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally
I would
sitting
like-
there.
Do you
I
think?
was sitting there for an hour thinking about what I would do if I could talk to my dead dad. And then,
I would like to. Oh, go ahead.
dude, you go ahead. You're actually doing something.
I said I want to spend 10 experience points.
Oh, fun. Let's see what you got.
I'd like to improve my speed from D6 to D8.
Fantastic. Faster than ever.
That was fun.
All right. So I think this is a good point to wrap it up. Thank you all for coming. Glad you're still enjoying it, and we'll see you next time where terrible, horrible things will happen.
But
Oh boy.